This weekend, Ryan is going for a walk, Andy is going on an odyssey, and together we try to free our boyfriends. I'm Ryan.
I'm Andy.
And this is Weekend Rental, episode 236. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Weekend Rental. Andy, how you been? It's been 3 full weekends in between us recording. This is something.
Unprecedented.
We should have all sorts of things to talk about.
Yeah. The reason it was that way, I was at a bank conference with my wife, which was also at a casino.
Nice.
And
those two things don't seem to go together.
No, I think it's a bad image. I mean, if I was going to a casino and it was just a bunch of bankers, I would have like a lot less trust of where my money's at. But yeah, that's just me, I guess.
I guess if you invest wisely, you can afford to lose some of it, huh? Do you suppose any of those banks were there just like with their whole like cash flow? Like, we're going to bet it all on red. We're either going to double our business
rates are going
collapse.
up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did pretty good in the casino, actually. Not too bad.
Nice.
But there was one moment that we really messed up pretty bad. Me and my wife sat down at one spot because I saw the same artwork from the PlayStation 2 Shinobi game.
Okay.
It's a Shinobi slot machine.
Nice.
So
makes sense.
I don't know how long this thing's been kicking around, but it's like, okay, I need to play that.
Mm-hmm.
So we go over and sit down. My wife puts them in and then puts a $20 bill in and hits the button and then doesn't do it. She can't do it again. I'm like, oh, what happened? Like, oh, I must have hit max bet or something accidentally. It's like, oh, that was dumb. One roll, it's gone, right? So then I'm like, well, that sucks. And then I hit my button and then all of mine is gone too. And then we look up and it was dollar machines. So it's like,
oh,
$20 bet per
it just takes it and doesn't like read that you have a $20 bill.
It did. It just said that was my bet. That was one round. I was saying, I'm putting 20 on this.
That's devious. Yeah.
Yep.
Shinobi gets you again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny. Usually they always give you an option to like you doing like one roll, 20 rolls.
Yep.
I mean, I guess if you hit, it would have been good.
Change your
right?
amounts. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So were the bankers just a blast to hang? I assume you had to do like some like coworker outings with your wife's.
Yeah, we did some bowling. There was a golf thing that we skipped out on.
Oh, really? I always took you as an avid golfer.
Not with a bunch of bank CEOs.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That seems like not the greatest time.
Think of the investment information you could have just sopped up from them.
Yeah. And it was incredibly hot that day. So what we did instead was we went to a local IMAX and we watched the Odyssey because
it's shot for IMAX, right? It's
right. I come to find out that it's like those aren't the true IMAX. Like there's the closest to true IMAX is like Chicago or something. Right. Yeah, you have to drive to Chicago for it. There was only
40 in the whole country.
Yeah.
The right format.
Which it's funny because it's 4x3. So it's like, It's hilarious that the most premium thing is like the old thing that we got rid of.
Everyone's going to be busting out their like HD up-resed Sony Trinitrons. Like those are going to shoot up in value.
It's the only way to get IMAX straight through it. Yeah.
It's flawless. So, I mean, it seems like a pretty divisive movie. People love it or hate it. What do you guys think?
I thought it was pretty good. I came in there thinking like, I'm a huge fan of Christopher Nolan movies.
Sure.
But I'm like, how do you make this gripping? Like I remember reading parts of this in school, you know, and it was like, okay, I kind of understand it. But yeah, he made it in a way that it's like you're on your edge of your seat and really invested in the story the whole time. So it's pretty good.
Because it's like what, 2 hours 40 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's almost 3 hours or something like that. But it doesn't feel like it.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I want to see that one, but I think at this point I'm just gonna wait till it's streaming on something because it's got
yeah.
to be nearing the end of its theater run, right? It's been out a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Especially with the setup you get, it's got to be there next week, probably.
Yeah. Although that the Plex server I have access to has been going down like crazy lately, so it's like when it's up, I watch like all the movies I can get, and then like his PC must go down. So,
Oh,
but yeah, I get them real quick. That's for sure.
Yep. Hmm.
I'm trying to. Well, I went on a camping trip.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Last weekend. Was it last weekend? The weekend before? No, weekend before. So that's I've been doing that with my kid every year for the last like 3 years, and it's like a backpacking remote camp trip. I mean, remote, not like crazy remote, but one campsite on a lake, and you can either walk in, which is like a mile and a half to 2 miles, or you can haul a boat down to the water and paddle across, which is what we've done the last couple of years. Decided to add a like 2-person inflatable raft to the mix this year so that I could use it as like a gear hauler, which worked flawlessly. What was less flawless was, I spend with a trip like this, I spend like 2 days laying everything out to make sure I have the right gear I need, packing it appropriately, usually making my pack like 10 times heavier than my son's so we can get it done. Got everything. My dad came with this time, all 3 boats plus the inflatable to the water. Put our life jackets on. All right, let's get going. Realized I left my fucking kayak paddles in the garage at home. So I was like, son of a bitch. And it's just like, well, we have to hike out of here. Then we'd have to drive probably to Fergus Falls is my best bet. I'm like, so that's 2 hours round trip. And I was just like, I'm like, fuck it, we'll improvise. Cause like, I don't know what was going through my head, but like, I just thought like, I'm going to bring like some screws and nails and like tape and stuff along this time. It just happened to throw like a little bag of them in. So basically, what we did was we made my 70-year-old dad. We tied onto his kayak and then the raft, and he pulled us all the way across the lake, which was very relaxing for the rest of us. Um, but then once we finally made it to the other side, we just like split his kayak paddle in two, so we each had like half a paddle, and then with my luckily screws in a bag, I flattened a water bottle and screwed it to a stick for my kid, and it ended up working out okay. But I was just so pissed because like I'm so anal about that trip and packing and making sure. And I had the paddles, like I set them right there. They were right by the garage door when I was loading everything up, and that's the one thing I forgot. So
That's pretty good. But that's pretty cool though that you made something. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I MacGyvered the worst paddle in the world, but it did
right.
work.
It's pretty cool. I mean, that's the nice thing about those kayaks is like you float so high on the water that you really don't need a whole lot. But
a stick would have been fine, just a bare stick would have gotten the job done.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of inconvenient because obviously you're going to be fishing those couple days we're out there, so it's like you got to have something to paddle around with. But the fishing was phenomenal. Again, a lot of I would guess like small to eater size northern. We probably caught like 60 to 70 between the three of us, which is great. There's a lot of bait fish in the pond this year too, and I'm thinking it's because the water's lower. There's more like habitat, so I was actually seeing like sunfish and bait fish. So I'm hoping if that keeps up for a couple seasons, in the northern will actually like fatten up and get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And the most amazing part was like that lake is for the most part like straight drop off once you get like offshore, and it gets down to like 20 to 30 feet kind of all around. But that water was so unbelievably warm. We went swimming the one day, and like normally like when you're swimming vertically out in the lake, you feel the temperature change. Like I swear to God, it was like mid to upper 70s the whole way. Like you didn't feel any difference, which probably explains why the fish we're catching most of them on the bottom. So but yeah, it was good. I kind of laughed too because like my dad was like, what are you bringing for booze? I'm like, I'm just gonna bring like I think I bought like a old fashioned like pre-mix thing or whatever just to sip on. So he gets set up at camp and he just pulls out this big old jar. He's gone with banana pudding moonshine. I'm like, really? That was your choice?
Wow.
And he proceeded to hammer like 80% of it the first night. And I was like, you should probably stop. Like, you're going to be puking your guts out in your tent.
Yeah.
So,
More so the banana pudding flavor. It's too
Yeah.
much.
yeah. I tasted a sip of it and I was like, that is entirely too sweet. But it was like, bold choice, Dad. Bold choice. But yeah, it was good.
I do like the fact that I think the last year it was your son was not the most productive helper.
No,
as
he
far
was
as
just
like,
terrible.
So the fact that this year
I'm the one
is
who making my dad do everything while I forget things that are crucial at home. Yeah, I thought it was great. My kid was actually like, he grew enough to actually haul stuff this year, which was nice. So
yeah, yep.
Except it was like explaining to my dad, like, okay, we can only bring so much, right? Like, just bring the essentials, like 2 gallons of water. We'll use like the lake for cooking and boiling water for like our ready meals and coffee and whatnot. And he must not have liked that idea. So like, we're loading his gear out in his kayak. I'm like, this thing's really heavy. Like, can't believe how much heavier this kayak is than mine. And we get to camp and I realize he brought like 4 gallons of water. I'm like, why? Why did you do this? I'm like, so much extra weight. And then he plops down a bag on the other side too, big black bag. I'm like, what's that? I was like, oh, beanbag toss. I'm like, beanbag toss? I'm like, so essentials only, you're like beanbag toss, which we never played either, by the way. So, yeah. But, I mean, I can't complain too much. It wasn't too bad of a haul. It was nice and quiet again. We didn't really see anybody. Did it like a Sunday or Saturday and a Sunday and then Sunday and a Monday. So,
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I think I'm gonna go back and fish that lake again maybe this weekend. We'll see. I ended up buying like the year-round like park pass just so I don't have to go to the gate anymore. And if you go south and cut around, you can get like paved roads most of the way there. So, and if I'm not hauling all the backpacking gear, hauling a boat down there is not so bad.
Yeah, is that a different lake than the main swimming lake there?
Yeah, it's called Cow Lake. It's like a really small one. It's basically the trail starts where that like church is that's out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
The Maplewood Church or whatever I forget what road it's on, but yeah, it's not the popular fishing one for sure. Like Beers seems to be big for muskie, and then the main fishing one obviously has a ton of boats on it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. Other than the paddling. My bad. If anything, I'm helping my dad, right? Like he's already had like heart issues.
Yeah.
Testing his limits a little bit to make sure he's still resilient is good. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in gaming news though, I just wanted to touch on it quick, but that EA buyout thing is ridiculous. But basically bought out by the Saudis and like that twisted investment firm who has some notable people from, well, with ties to our current administration on it. And just the fact that it's 55 billion and they took it private. That's kind of terrifying because EA still makes a lot of stuff, but to take them private right away and then immediately saddle them with a bunch of debt. What's the play there? I don't get it.
Yeah, especially right now in the gaming. I mean, it's quite a time to do that.
I mean, it's worked out well. Giant acquisitions for Microsoft have been super.
Yeah, and I think it's like it's the largest private buyout ever in anything, right?
I think so.
Which is I don't know. I mean, I know EA does a lot of stuff, obviously. But I mean, all their eggs are in the sports basket for the most part, 100%. Right?
So are we getting like Live Golf now every year? Is that going to replace Tiger Woods?
PGA is gone.
Yeah, it seems like people who shouldn't be buying into a video game company of that size and investing in it. So like, I don't know what the move is there, especially the private piece is. I think I read something like 20 billion in debt is basically like immediately on the company now. which is
Jeez.
insane.
Yeah, that's usually like what happens to the leverage buyout, like the ones that are like the Toys R Us and the Red Lobsters, like it's meant to drive them into the ground and so they can
strip
make money off of
assets
them.
and right.
Yep.
Yeah, so it doesn't leave you with a good feeling. Because what's going to happen if EA goes away? Like your Maddens and your
Finally good sports games again.
I mean, there's that, I guess. 2K football's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty wild stuff. I don't pretend to know a lot of the ins and outs of it. I just know it doesn't seem like a good thing for EA or gaming.
Right. That's it's a good theme. Common theme in gaming is not a good vibe coming.
Yeah. Speaking of not another good vibe or a very peculiar one, that Netflix extended trailer premiere makes absolutely no sense to my brain as to why they're doing that. And it's only like a 12-hour or 6-hour window or something too, but what is Netflix getting out of that?
Yeah.
Because I assume like they're paying for it, but why?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's getting people on there, but like nobody's going to buy a subscription to see that.
For 6 hours of exclusivity. Yeah.
Right.
And the final product will not be housed on your platform. So it just doesn't make any damn sense to me at all. I mean, I'm excited for the new trailer, but
yeah,
I'll watch it on YouTube.
I don't like that it commands that type of thing.
Yeah.
They've withheld a gameplay trailer for forever. I mean, it's already ballsy enough to be like, you're going to buy it anyway. What's it matter if you see it or not? That's pretty much their attitude.
It is wild that we're 3 months away now. And we've seen almost nothing of the gameplay.
Yeah.
And then we know, like, it's just so wild to me too that it's like single player only. Like, I mean, I guess that you want GTA Online to keep printing money and why reinvent the wheel, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, that's why I thought it was taking so long. I thought because the two things that they were working on,
right? Maybe they would get it right at once and like launch it day of.
Yeah,
because they couldn't do it with Red Dead.
Yeah, and have PC ready at the same time.
Yeah,
but no.
That PC one is going to do gangbusters when that finally drops. That's going to be huge. There's just such a massive PC audience at this point.
Yeah. But as a company, I guess they know there's a certain percentage of people that are going to buy it again on PC.
Yeah, that's true. Because you're going to want the mods and the high res and like, ooh, look at how much better. And
but
unlocked frame rates.
It doesn't like help your case of record-breaking sales type of thing, Yeah. If you're not doing that out of the gate too.
Yeah. I'm very curious to like see what the trailer has in it. Like, obviously I want like some more info on the map is kind of my big thing. I think it's been pretty well leaked or speculated, and like the last time that happened with 5, it was pretty accurate. So, but I am curious about like the gameplay mechanics, if they've tried to like update anything, or if we're still going with the wheel. I don't hate the wheel, way better than it used to be, but it still doesn't feel modern at this point. You know what I mean?
We're shooting with the square button again.
Bringing back the pressure sensitive buttons from the PS2. Remember like the selling point in that? Like every button's analog. I'm like, we're all going to mash it the same. Like, what are we doing?
Yep. Nobody has that type of sense to their...
Right.
Yeah. Do you think it can possibly live up to the expectation at this point? Like, things have changed so much that I don't know if it can really like top.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because like GTA 5 story is still like, I think one of the best stories in gaming, like with the 3 characters in the story arc. Like it was just so engaging. But I think I don't see this thing coming out and like not getting like 9 and 10 out of 10s just because people have been salivating it for so long. And like, I mean, look at what they did with Red Dead 2. That was amazing. I think all they really need to do is like have a game that isn't buggy as shit and kind of stays the course, and they're going to be fine. Regardless, this is probably going to be the biggest one-day video game sale in history. I don't see it not being record-shattering.
Yeah.
I think I have every expectation that it will be a very great game. Do I think it's going to be perfect or they're going to totally nail it? Probably not. I mean, God, you had a game that's been in development for over 10 years. So I guess there's maybe some of that question, right? Like, because clearly at some point this shifted from a last gen engine and modeling and textures and then moved. So what did that do to the game? I don't know.
Right.
I guess we didn't see that big of a generational leap. Yeah.
That, at some point it gets too intimidating if it's too massive, if there's so much mechanics in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we've talked about this, but like the story nowadays, like back then it was like, haha, parody and all this, but like a lot of that stuff's a little too close to real now that I don't know if it plays, but
yeah, it'll be interesting. I wonder too, like if some of the humor won't be dated just because it's been in development for so long. Like hopefully they stayed away from like topical stuff. I'm excited still. But you went to a drive-in?
I did.
Restaurant or movie theater?
A movie theater.
Hey, you just been watching all the movies.
Yeah. We have one about an hour away from us. Kind of the old style. It's been there forever. And I think they were closed for a couple 10 years or whatever, and then they rebooted it, right? But it's got the old speakers sitting there.
They don't even have you do it through the radio?
You can do it through the radio if you want to do it that way. Nowadays cars are weird. Like modern cars are not very good with keeping your radio on because everything is like, it's so, that and the batteries just, they have it tuned so perfect that there's not a lot of extra battery left, right?
Sure.
So we brought along another radio too, which didn't really work that well. So, it's not the most ideal viewing conditions for a movie that you want to watch compared to, I just saw the Odyssey in IMAX and now I'm watching something out of the back of my van with a speaker like 5 feet away from me.
It's an experience though,
barely hear. Right. Yep. But the thing is, you have to wait till it's dark, obviously, and it's a double feature. So it's 3-4 in the morning by the time I come back from the movie theater.
That is wild.
And this time I'm kind of pissed about it because the first movie was Spider-Man, which is excellent. I really like it. Probably the best one out of all of these, the Tom Holland ones.
I have yet to see any of them, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is like 3 of the same actors are also in the Odyssey, so it's weird that they're both in the same thing. But the second movie was Supergirl, and holy shit, that was a waste of time.
Yeah, I heard nothing good about that.
Yeah. I don't really understand how that even got made. Like the script itself just seemed like it was like really half baked.
Really?
It seems like the bad guy should have been like the first guy that you beat up. But no, they made that guy the whole thing of the movie. It's weird.
And I'm sure it was like close to 3 hours long, keeping you up even later when you were not happy with it.
Yeah. I think it was only 2 hours, but it was not a pleasant 2 hours. I was ready to fall asleep just in the middle of the movie, but yeah. And I don't know if you've seen the girl that plays her.
I've seen the internet comparing her to like trolls and goblins and like leprechauns, which is harsh.
I don't see that. I see like mid 80s James Hetfield. It looks just like that.
Cut off the mustache.
And that's all that's all I could see is James Hetfield.
Was her acting costume. Good at least?
It was okay. It's just she's, kind of like supposed to be a runaway teenage type kind of
Yeah.
drinking herself out of her mind, right?
Immortal.
And
yeah.
you would think it would be more fun, but it's really not. They should have had a lot more fun with that, I think. But
Said it was just like a sad drunk with no
Yeah.
friends and at home.
until she finds a purpose, which was kind of dumb anyway. It was a dog.
Yeah, I picked that up in the trailer.
Yeah. Which, whatever, but
Maybe a better through line
yeah.
instead of the dog.
Because, I mean,
Yeah.
it was basically like a little girl that was trying to get her help. And she was blowing her off. But then her dog got hurt. So then she's like, okay, little girl, let's go do it. It's like, okay, I think the little girl probably mattered more than your dog, but.
It was a very special dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make sure to avoid that one when I'm given the opportunity to potentially stream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little fearful of movies after Masters of the Universe, so I still can't get over how bad that was.
They had to pop the popcorn buckets from that movie on clearance there that they were trying to sell. And I'm looking at it like one of them is like Cringer, and I'm like, where's the popcorn? I don't understand how you get the popcorn out of it. Like, these aren't even buckets anymore. They're just like action figures with a little hole that you can put things in.
I liked the one for the Mario movie that was like Yoshi, and like you opened a hatch in his ass to like get the popcorn. I'm like, that doesn't seem like a good placement. Yeah, they're so expensive too. Like when you buy them when they're new, it's like $40 or $50.
Yeah,
stupid. I got my clearance popcorn bucket behind me from the newest Mario movie, because I don't know if your Targets had them in stock, but ours had like 50 of them, and they were like $19 with like nothing in them. Maybe they're like 12.
Really?
I don't know. I'm like, so I told my wife, I was like, those are eventually going to be like $1 one day. Like when they are, just grab me one. And sure enough,
yep,
like $1.50. So
yeah, it's kind of crazy how like disposable marketing stuff can be like that in a store. But
yeah, for sure. Oh, they just make so much of it. You know what I mean? It's just overkill. Just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know if you became one of those people that are collecting those popcorn buckets. Like, I don't even know what you do to like display them or anything.
Right.
Like, what would you do with them? I don't know.
They're not like small footprint items. You're gonna like have to dedicate like a wall in your house, and then you gotta,
and they're all shaped weird.
Let's say you used it, then you gotta clean the damn thing. And I mean, the Dune one is still the most hilarious for sure. But
yep. The most used, you said?
Yeah, yes. For intended purpose, not sure, but yes. So we talked last time. Well, I talked last time about Splatoon Raiders. I think I'd mentioned that, I was like 10 hours in and thought I was pretty much done with the campaign. I was wrong, and I have a horrible addiction to Splatoon Raiders. I am probably, since we talked last, like 50 hours into this game.
Oh.
So you'll finish the campaign, and then you also unlock like spicy and super spicy modes, which give you different difficulty tiers outside of the survivalist tier. And then towards the end game, you start getting like fully maxed out, like 4-star weapons that you can like upgrade. I thought unlimited. I just hit the cap on one that I upgraded 50 times on top of its level 50. Found out that's the max. You're level capped at 50, but then you get plus caps, which so far haven't capped on me, but I am 50 plus 49 right now. So I'm not sure if 100 is going to be the true cap. We'll find out. I'm like,
wow,
an hour away. Yeah, I can't. The gameplay loop is so good, even though I'm just at this point replaying missions and just kind of like jumping in with random groups. Super addictive. Just like that grab and go, and like the killing's really fun, and the chaos is fun. I also unlocked now like a sub tower, like it's like solo dungeon runs that are like levels 50 plus. And I don't know how many tiers down in that. I'm like 10 or so. I haven't fully beat it because I've been just basically grinding the game to overpower myself to then just kind of like breeze through those a little easier. But I think this might be my favorite game for the Switch too.
Wow.
I am playing it. It's like if I have 30 minutes, I'm jumping into matches. If I got a lunch break and a little bit of time to kill, I'm jumping into matches. Um, and then keep in mind, most of this has been solo, like because until yesterday, I didn't have any friends who had one or had a copy. So it's that good on my own. I feel like,
Huh. Yeah. Okay. I got it. I got to get this game then.
yeah. And there's a lot of depth to like the upgrading and the gadgets and the modding. I admittedly am probably still not very good at like building the best gear set. But I'm doing okay. But there are definitely people that are playing that are like just trouncing me in XP earned. So
Hmm.
gotta be something I'm missing.
Do you sense that this is kind of going to be a live service type thing where they're going to be adding stuff to it, or?
See, that's where I'm at right now. Is like I'm just really hoping it gets DLC because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be capping out in the near future, right? Because it's just I don't have anybody to play with and I can't unlock anything else. What's the point?
Yep.
So I'm kind of hoping since every other Splatoon did, but those were also much different games, right? Like this is a single player focus thing and not meant as a live service. So my hope though, based on the sales numbers in Japan and it's doing very well there, I assume it's doing very well here, that Nintendo will give us something. Um, I'm hoping we hear soon because I'm dying to get more content for this thing, to be honest.
Yeah, these type of games, you definitely want to drip feed new stuff into it to keep it going, right? So
my OCD is very fired up with the game right now, though, because so you get like a training area platform that you expand as you play the game. You just go around and blow stuff up and paint it up. And there's like a ramp on one side behind a robot. And I've realized that somehow somebody at Nintendo forgot to like texture it correctly so that the ramp will take ink except for one sliver at the end that's about 2 foot long in game. And my OCD cannot handle that I can't paint this little section of ramp. And every time I hit it, I just get so mad. It's a me problem, but somebody could patch that in. It'd be great.
Yeah, it's got to be fixed.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. I was actually playing it tonight right up until the podcast. Well, I was doing some other stuff, but I had an hour to kill. So jumped in and doing stuff. It just really scratches a very casual and addictive and fun itch. It's just a fun video game with a lot of personality, except the story. Throw the whole story away. I hate that. I think that sucks. I think everything about the gameplay and the upgrades fun. The other characters still can't stand them.
The is it local multiplayer or no?
You can't do any split screen or anything. It sucks. I did. So I played with Danton, friend of the podcast, the other night, and I did for the very first time try the native voice chat on Switch 2. Turns out it just took him like 4 generations to figure out how to make that work easily. Mind-blowingly, though, you still have to go into the settings to make it full screen and not have like the windows at the bottom. Seems like that should be easier to do, but yeah, I was sitting like 6 feet away from my Switch 2 and it worked just fine.
Really?
Noise canceling is good, so yeah, I can't say enough good things about this game. I don't know if it's gonna be for everybody, but it like really nails it for me.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'll pick that up. I haven't been to town recently. Just need to go get it, I guess.
You just buy everything digitally these days.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, if it's that type of game where you're in and out 30 minutes, half hour, 1 hour, that's the type of game you want.
It's even less than that for most of like I would say the longest sessions you're going to have are going to be 15 minutes. I would say most of these are 3 to 5 minutes and you're done, which is just perfect. But yeah, when you get it and get yourself leveled up a little bit, I'll have to jump into a match because I don't want to just like take the enjoyment away from you. Plus, it's kind of brutal because of the level I'm at. Like, you would join a raid that would be like level 6. It would bump you to like 50 and tell you that like you're in grave danger. So
yeah, I'll just be sitting back and watching.
yeah. It throws so much at the console too. Like, there's really like it's optimized well, or it's Nintendo, so they know the hardware. But I've never seen it really like drop frames, even when it gets insanely chaotic.
Huh.
I do wish that the matchmaking was better, though. I wish there were open games and lobbies to join instead of like a code system. And then, because then your only option is to just jump into a random help requested game, which is fine. That's what I do. But it'd be nice to like tag along with 3 other people and go through a full campaign if they wanted to. You know what I mean?
Does it get to the point where it gets annoying where if they're not playing the right way, like,
oh, yeah.
You know, you're jumping in. So it's,
yeah. And you only get so many lives combined on these maps. So it's like,
oh, yeah.
When you jump in a bad one, you know immediately because you hear like the warning that you're on your last life and you're like 30 seconds in. And they're like, well, we got 2 more flights to go. So clearly we're not going to finish this thing. So let's just end it now. And perplexingly, there is 0. So if you do the help thing, it queues you up and you have to play whatever level they throw you in. But there's no way to back out once you're in that queue. So like there are times where I'm like, I don't want to play that level. I don't want to do that boss. And I just have to disconnect from the internet. And that's my only out because I can't back out.
Wow.
Stupid.
That is really stupid. Huh.
But yeah, if anyone's listening and hasn't bought it or thinks that they didn't like other Splatoons, I'm with you. But this is a much different experience and a ton of fun.
I'll have to buy the amiibos for you.
No, don't do that. I like it's hilarious too because like in the cosmetics section, you know, like any game like this that has that stuff is like hover over it and it'll tell you what you have to achieve to unlock. And then like the 3 on the farthest like right side are just like all 3 amiibo ones, and they just look like stupid shit that you wouldn't care about anyway. But there's no stat bonuses, so it's totally pointless. $75 an amiibo, and you're gonna get 3 cosmetics.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty rough.
The amiibo situation right now with Nintendo is sickening. I mean, I thought it was bad when I was paying like 15 or 12. I mean, these things are starting now at like 30 and going up to 40 something. I don't get it.
It is kind of crazy that they're still doing it. Like usually Nintendo doesn't keep doing stuff, you know, like they fall off stuff pretty fast.
Plus the fact that it's like a Wii U carryover is just so wild.
Yeah.
It was probably the only thing that made the money on the Wii U though. So
yep. Well, I've been playing a game that you kind of recommended, Outbound, which is kind of the van one. I finished Solarpunk and I 100%ed it. I got all the achievements in it, and I'm like, I haven't done that in a long time. I looked it up. I had to scroll all the way back to 2013.
Really?
So, yeah.
It's crazy.
So finished that one, and for whatever reason, I'm like, I was still kind of geared up for that type of thing. Solarpunk has like no ending, so that was kind of the bummer part of it. So I felt like finishing the achievements was the ending of that game. But Outbound is a similar game, I would say. Obviously, you're still in a van, and I'm on the 4th map, so I'm pretty decently far in the game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They gate you by, you know, you have to have this pickaxe or something to get through something to, you know. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what it is. It's just like gates to get new things, new materials to make this better, and then you can build this, and that's pretty much the whole game. And I'm starting to feel that burnout where it's just kind of like, okay, I'm just kind of roaming around this map, kind of doing the same thing over and over again. So I think I'm starting to finally wear out on this style of game for a little bit, but
does
I think
the
I'll finish it.
pacing ever like speed up in it, or do they always like limit you with like how little stamina you have and how much of this you can carry?
You can upgrade those. So there is some of that, and that usually doesn't become a problem. Like where I'm at, backpack, I could run across the whole map and basically hold what you need. And there's a couple other good additions to that. But yeah, it's, you know, it's like, oh, now you're on this map, then now you need to get these new machines because they make this
Sure.
They crush rocks to do this and make glass to do that. And
Are enemies ever introduced, or is it all just cozy chill?
yeah,
Okay.
it's all that.
Is it on Game
And
Pass?
yeah, yep,
Okay, I should play it
yep,
because I did want to dive back into it, but I didn't want to pay for it. So,
yeah. It's kind of a collectathon too.
Mhm.
But the main things are like get all the campfires, get all the things, find all the gnomes,
Yeah.
it's a lot of that stuff. So a lot of map clearing and collectible stuff, which I don't think I'll be in the same boat as like Solarpunk and try and finish all that because
Yeah.
that seems like a nightmare. But I'm enjoying it for what it is. It's crashed like 5-6 times on me though,
Really?
which is kind of surprising. Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah, I just kind of like it when you get to the point where like you're just building this ridiculous contraption on top of a van that pulls out and it basically turns into a whole house.
Yep.
And then it just becomes like a decorating simulator more than anything.
Yep. And then you just like, oh, put it away, and it just all shoves into the
Yeah.
top carrier. It's like, okay.
Pretty sure the roof is not rated for this, but all right. Yeah. Well, that's good to know that it's on Game Pass. I'm gonna have to check that out if I can break my crippling Platoon addiction one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of I held off on the purchase of it because like I was thinking I'd just buy it on Switch 2 and continue from my demo save. But the reviews were so like hit or miss. I'm like, well, maybe it's wait for a sale sort of thing.
Yeah. I these type of games are really good at like sucking you in because you are always like a few materials short
Right.
for the next thing, right? So
Yep.
it's like you're always going to get an upgrade in 5 minutes, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if I go over there and I do this and I get that, and it'll be so much better. And then it's like, okay, I got that. Now I need my next dopamine hit. Where's that on the map?
Yeah. Yeah,
But
exactly. Kind of sucks you in. I wish that like I really like the art style of that one. I wish it had like a little bit more fidelity though. Like it seems like it could have prioritized graphics slightly more, but I guess if it's already crashing on you with what it has, maybe it's not.
yeah, there's a couple spots too that are like crashing is like one thing where a bug or something, but there's some spots that are like really framey
Yeah.
as far as like unoptimized stuff too. So, and it doesn't seem like it should be framey at where I was, but
Yeah, I noticed that in the demo as well. But I was thinking, well, pre-release, they'll fix that.
yeah.
Hmm. Well, I played another game kind of in that vein, which has been mostly sidetracked because of my, again, Splatoon addiction. But everyone was just talking about Big Walk and how Big Walk has to be like game contender for game of the year. I was like, cool, I'm going to play that. And then I was reading about it, and it's like, you can't play it solo. You need two people. And I'm like, I am not buying two copies of this game. And then later on that week, I happened to check the free games for PlayStation for the month. Turns out that was one of them. So I'm like, okay, so I can make my kid play this, and then I just need to buy a copy for the Switch too. So that's what we did. And we jumped into it. It's gonna have to do some stuff as we progress for me to be like game of the year. I mean, maybe we're getting there. We're like 2 hours in, right? But like, it's very much an open world walking simulator game with just like buddy puzzles, right? Like it's walk up to a like sculpture and it's got 4 holes and somebody has to press a button to like open the hatch to put stuff in the holes. It's like, okay, well, got to figure out where the shit for the holes is. Then you're wandering around the map finding that. And everybody can only carry one item at a time, so it's like juggling stuff you find, whether it's like flashlights or that kind of stuff. Very cool vibe, very much like Outbound, kind of little more fidelity and realism. But
other than the characters, yeah.
right, they look like duck ant. They look like those things from those like birds that like sip out of a cup. Is kind of what they remind me of.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were enjoying it, but then we hit like our next big puzzle, and it was just like, again, a wall of things that you needed to fill, and I'm like, I'm not collecting a bunch more shit right now. Like we're gonna hit pause on this thing. So yeah, it's fun, right? But like I've played a lot of this type of stuff, so it's really gonna have to do something to wow me, I think.
Yeah. So my Lethal Company group picked this up.
Okay.
And I did buy an extra copy for my son to play too. So we all hopped on there and played it. Yeah, probably a couple hours the other night. And I kind of had a similar thing where it was like, I really like how the, I think the little press the button, open the thing, the guy has to put it in there. Like, they design it in a way that like you're supposed to friendly kind of grief your friends a little bit.
Right. 100%.
To make it fun. I mean, that's the design of it, I think.
Yep.
So that was kind of entertaining. And then they obviously, they withhold things. They make things a little bit harder to communicate or something like that, where you have to.
The proximity chat thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to come up with different ideas or ways to go about something. But yeah, I was a little disappointed once you kind of do that and you get the key and you do all that. And then it was like,
grind the key, then you got to place the key. Yeah.
And then after that, it was like, okay, now there's another set of these.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are. I don't know what the blob things
Gourds?
are.
I'm not sure either. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
We'll probably keep playing it because it's fun to just hang out and chat and just talk about stuff in there. And usually something funny happens every few minutes, but.
Yep. Yeah. I think it has the potential to open up into something really clever. If it keeps the pace of like pretty straightforward things though, like, I don't know, is hanging out and doing that together for multiple hours really gonna do it for me? Probably not, but I'll stick it out. There's got to be something I'm missing.
I think a lot of it is you have to make your own fun, which
sure
in that way, I don't think it can be game of the year because like the emergent fun is between the people that are playing, not necessarily like the game itself.
Just the fact that it doesn't have any like open online matchmaking or a required co-op is kind of baffling.
Yeah, like, that is weird, isn't it?
Even if you limit it to 2 people, like a 2-person game only, it's shocking that you would sell a product and require. And, well, I guess it's genius because then you need to get somebody else to get a copy. Like if this hadn't come out for free with PlayStation, I wonder how rocky of a launch it would have had. I don't know. And I suppose more people were probably playing it on Steam, but yeah.
I mean, I bought 2 stray copies of it, so that's. I mean, they're getting people that way, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it some more time, but it's just it didn't feel like game of the year to me. I was like so hyped. I was like, this is gonna blow my mind. Like this is gonna be great. And then I'm like, I'm just putting shit into holes and grinding keys.
Yeah, I don't think I think if you're just playing the game straight, I can't imagine this would be fun. Like if you were just had like 2 people that were just playing it straight as like serious gameplay. I don't know.
Yeah. And there's like all the stuff within the game too, like not an objective, but like we make it our mission to like light up every orb we walk by and stuff. It's just like, you're just kind of doing dumb shit for the sake of doing something in the world.
Yeah. Well, that's my one nephew, there was the one puzzle with like the little art pieces that you have to switch the things around. One of them looks like a butthole, so he was carrying that around the entire game. So he was just holding it over his head everywhere he went. There was just this.
So I locked myself in the room for that one and was explaining it to my son. I was like, okay, next block is sperm. I'm like, that one to your right. Well, it was like the best way to describe it. So we've kind of been cheesing it too, not playing it as intended, because obviously I got it on the Switch too. So I just like park up with him in his room next to his PS5. So, you have open communication instead of what they intended. But I mean, even if I wasn't doing that, I'd be 10 feet away in my game room. So, butthole. It's hilarious. Yeah, I like that that's an option to just hold something above your head so long that your arms lock and you walk around like that. Weird. People are going to want to do this. We'll have to put it in the game.
Yep.
That's awesome. How did we get through everything? No. Yeah, one more.
Oh, yeah, this is I played a few hours of this. This is also on PC Game Pass. It's called Corsair Cove, and it's kind of a city builder style game where kind of in a big isometric view, building the city, but you're kind of building a pirate hangout on an island. So it's kind of a unique twist on that. It's got a little bit of tower defense in it too, because obviously pirates are trying to come and raid you and attack you too. So you also have to build up defenses on your island for that. But I haven't gotten too far into it. I'll probably play some more of it. I just thought it was interesting that they're still making these in a way that maybe are more casual, that
Sure.
like get people in that way. Because some of those, I mean, they're like, you got to understand the economy and
Yeah.
yeah.
What is that one that's not like Sim City, but it's like Tropico or whatever, or something like
Oh
that?
yeah, Tropico.
That
Yeah.
one I always like immediately hit a wall like an hour in. I'm like, nah, fuck this. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe there's more. Maybe it does get to that in here too. But it, for the most part, it's pretty good about saying, you know, you need wood and resources and stuff like that to build this, and you need houses for the people that you have. So you just build stairs and stuff, and you can just build shit on the side of cliffs. So it's pretty fun, you know.
Did you get like off the island on a ship then if you're building it for pirates or no?
Yeah, there you build you eventually build up a kind of a port that you can start building ships, and then you put some of your pirates in it and go out and do things. I haven't gotten too far on that side, but I'm hoping it's more of a. The one I had was kind of a straightforward, maybe tutorial style where you go out and attack somebody.
Sure.
But I'm hoping it's more of a send them out, do things, you know, they get resources, bring it back type of thing. But I don't know.
And if they don't let you build a floating island out in the middle of the sea that's a restaurant, they fucked
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
You need. And Monkey just shows up for no reason as an NPC. Perfect.
I'm secretly excited about that game. That
There's a
like
game?
16 there's a 16-bit like Diner Dash style One Piece game coming out.
Really? I haven't heard anything about this.
Yeah. So there's like hundreds of different One Piece characters that all come into your restaurant and you have to serve them and
That's
stuff like
cool.
that.
I'll have to check into that. Does that get us to staff picks?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go with mine because I don't have a whole lot to say about it. But this is a movie. It was a Svengoolie that I watched over the weekend, and it's Captain Kronos, the Vampire Hunter. And this is like a early '70s Hammer production, so it's like a British horror. And Hammer stuff is always like kind of awesome in its absurdity and awfulness, which make it kind of great. So I think they planned on this to be a series and it just like tanked. So you got this guy who's like Captain Kronos. He's like an Imperial guard, and you know he's going around with a hunchback who's not Igor inexplicably, but and they're off to just hunt vampires. That's what the captain does. And it's so cheesy. This dude's like always got his shirt off. He finds a woman shackled in the middle of a trail. He's like, "What did you do?" She's like, "I danced on a Sunday." And he like cuts her loose. And then she like immediately like gets up and looks at him like just wants to jump his bones immediately, which pretty much happens throughout the whole movie. And like
I think that's why you become a vampire hunter, right?
Yeah, exactly. And of course she's gorgeous, you know. But just like the methods with which they're like trying to like track down the vampire to me was hilarious because like all of it happens during the day, which makes no sense. And then they're like tying red ribbons on bells and like running strings, like the vampire is gonna run into it, and then we'll know where the vampire is. I'm like, I can see this shit clear as day. Like this vampire is not gonna run into this. And then like anyone who gets in his way and looks at him wrong, he just like murders in cold blood, which I guess is fine. So he kills like dozens of people in this movie for no reason. And then my favorite part is like there's a couple like love scenes, but on the second one, like the camera just pans up to the girl and she's like got blood running down her face, and she's like, "You were rough with me. What happened to you to make you so angry?" I'm like, this is messed up and uncomfortable, but also hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it just all culminates in like just terribly choreographed like sword fighting, and a couple vampires get killed, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. And then he just leaves the chick. She's like, I'm gonna miss you, Kronos. He's like, and I'll think of you, and then just like rides off, and like that's the end of the movie. So he just like uses this poor woman and then uses her as bait in one of the traps too. And then as soon as they've like killed the vampire, he's like, off to the next one. It is cheesy and bad in all the best ways.
Huh. Does it relate anything to do with like all their Dracula movies, or it's just
Nah,
straight up
because
different?
they're explaining like there's as many different kinds of vampires as there are like whatever. So like these vampires don't even drink blood; they just suck the life force out of women. So like these like teenage girls like get caught in the woods and stuff, and then all of a sudden they're like 85 and die of like a stroke. I assume. I don't know. It's weird. None of it makes any sense, and it's great.
Huh. Yeah. Well, I mean, you've watched like 400 episodes of Supernatural, so you've seen it all on vampire hunting expertise. So, I mean,
yeah, his methods are a little bit unorthodox, I will say.
Yeah.
That's putting it politely. I think what's great too is like he realizes that he can kill them because he kills a guy who had a cross around his neck, and the cross, like while they're torturing him, just gets lodged into his chest, and it removes him of the vampire curse, but then he dies. So they're like, oh, that's the solution. So they go to the graveyard, find an iron cross, forge it into a sword specifically to kill vampires. After he kills the vampire with it in the movie, he just goes, and like throws it in the air and just like leaves it on the floor. I'm like, you're a vampire hunter. Seems like maybe that could be useful in the future, but I guess we'll leave it. Or Igor spent like 8 hours forging steel while you were beating your broad and banging her in the barn. But whatever.
Maybe it's a one-time use.
It could be. They didn't explain. That must be it. He knows what he's doing.
Wow.
How about your pick?
Well, mine is embarrassing and depressing. Turns out I'm kind of a basic bitch.
Okay.
Because I've been addicted to listening to what presumably is an AI music artist.
Oh, how dare you?
I know.
You're ruining society.
And it's called Dungeon and Riffs, and it's basically like thrash metal, good riffs, and kind of 80s like synth on top of it.
Okay.
And it's right up my alley. And they're like 2-3 minute long songs. They're constantly changing the riff. There's no vocals. So it's kind of like listening to Dream Theater, where you're listening to a 16-minute song, and there's no way that you're going to be able to know that that's what song that is in a Dream Theater song. They're just riffing away on different things, and they switch it up every 40 bars or whatever, right? Same thing here. It's just constantly changing riffs. I will say, if you listen to it for a long time in a row, you can tell they're using the same beats per minute template, maybe. So, and eventually, I mean, you can only do it so many different ways that like the guy making this stuff, there's no way he knows what he's made or, what he's outputted and be like, oh, okay, this is this one. I can't, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Like it is completely disposable stuff that it's kind of weird to think about, that you're listening to music that it's just like, I have no idea if I'll ever listen to this again. If I ever heard it again, I would have no idea that I have heard it before.
Sure.
But
is it like tons
I'm loving it.
Content? Like he's just cranking it out all day long, or like
there's 26 albums so far this year.
Jeez. This is on Spotify, I assume?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And what are like the listens like?
There's not too many left. Okay. I mean, probably like there's a few thousand, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how I think I got this suggested to me through YouTube first. And
okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like something good to throw on in the background when you're working or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely follow along. But the whole time, I'm thinking, oh, I'm so sophisticated. They always say if Mozart and all Beethoven were around, they would be into metal because that's where the true like artisan, that's what they would have been, right?
Sure.
Because that's the type of music. But nah, AI can just do it and make me love it. So
They've got you now. Like,
yeah,
it's over for you.
I don't know what I do. I can't listen around anybody else because it drives the rest of the family nuts that there's no like singing or anything.
Words.
It's just constantly like I could listen to it for an hour of
yeah
this, but
that's crazy though. 26 albums already.
Yeah. Like that's a full-time job just doing. I would imagine putting that in.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he's probably got so much content at this point. He just points the AI to the catalog and it's like, just do more of this. And it just writes in itself. Probably
just
doesn't
make
have
it a
to
little
do
different.
much. Right. Tweak the thumbnail and the cover art, give it a different name. We're good.
Yeah. One of them, like a couple of the albums have like the Rugrats on it. So I don't know what, I don't know what's going on.
That's kind of wild. You think that would get them in trouble?
Yeah, I don't know if it's big enough yet.
But this has nothing to do with what you're talking about, but the random naming thing just made me think of this. I sat in a software demo today. I work for a financial institution for anyone who's curious, and they were demoing their online banking thing, and they were showing us mock accounts, right? And then one of the accounts, they were like talking about how you can name it whatever you want. Keep in mind, this is a big company presenting this software to us. They had an account that was going to be, it was analysis and something else. In what ways would you abbreviate analysis that you would find acceptable for a business use? Would you say ANALY is a good choice of an abbreviation? And would you use that as your leading account throughout your entire demo?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then it was BC and then some numbers. I can only assume what the BC stood for. I think they missed a B, but I couldn't unsee that, and I was just like, this is bad. So, yeah.
That's funny.
Bonus staff pick nugget there.
If you're having a good time with us at Weekend Rental, I think you might enjoy all the great geeky stuff found on the Geekade Podcast Network. They've got podcasts about games, music, movies, and more. Plus, if you order off their secret menu, also known as the Geekade Patreon, you just might find an exclusive movie podcast hosted by Ryan and myself. Check it out over at geekade.com. And hey, if you'd like to turn Weekend Rental into a true multimedia experience, our YouTube and Twitch channels might just be for you.
Anyway, my rant aside, I guess we can move on to the Weekend Rental.
Yep.
So the Weekend Rental, of course, we play a game for a given system or platform. Give it some time, and then Andy and I will give our opinion as to whether we would buy, rent, or burn that game. This one isn't necessarily platform exclusive. I think it's come out on just about everything in the last several years, but it's River City Girls. We picked this one because River City Girls 2 had also recently just been up for grabs on Epic, but I was like, we got to start with the original. So yeah, I mean, River City Ransom is the game that this is tied into and sort of based off of from the NES, Famicom. And this one's a modern, I don't know, it reminds me like 16-bit-ish, but upgraded, kind of like, you know, the other Streets of Rage 4, that sort of thing, but more pixelated and colorful and comic booky and girl, you know, very teenage girl focused.
It's kind of reminded me a lot of the Scott Pilgrim game.
Yes.
Beat 'em up.
Yeah, I would agree.
just in kind of the mechanics and everything it's doing in that game. It's very similar, but yeah, it's got a weird, I don't know, theme to it. Like, obviously they were going with the twist of the guys were kidnapped, so you got to play as girls.
As their girlfriends, right?
Which is all right, but the stuff that they do in it, and I don't follow this type of game too much. I mean, obviously there is a billion types of kind of almost getting into the pervy side of games that.
Yeah, it's a little bit on that edge.
I don't think it gets that far, but it's kind of trying to lure that crowd a little bit, I think.
Somebody is definitely getting off on the fact that you're playing as a girl in a skirt, beating up other girls in a skirt. Like,
yes,
that's somebody's MO for playing it, not mine. But.
Yes. But what is the Venn diagram of those people and being like, holy shit, they made another River City Ransom?
Yes, I agree. Because like River City Ransom, like, I mean, a hidden gem maybe isn't the right word, but like it has a pedigree with the people that love it. Because the people that were really into that game on the NES, which was never me, but like I had friends who were just like, that's the game, right? Like, and there's a lot to like there, and there's a lot to like here. You know, there's simple mechanics, but then you can upgrade and get like different punch combinations and things. I think where I struggle with this one, and I struggle with a lot of games like this, including Streets of Rage 4, is like the gameplay is just so repetitive and everybody is like a punch sponge. And it's just like sometimes like my preference for a beat 'em up is like either I'm like really building like levels and skills quickly, or they just OP you from the beginning. So it's more of like I'm on a experience to just decimate everything and breeze through it. Where this is not that game. So like I'm not loving the repetitiveness and the shallowness initially of, you know, your options for fighting, and then it's also moving at such a sluggish pace that it has a hard time holding my attention, I think.
Yeah. And it does have, you know, a lot of enemies at some point where the pacing gets kind of bad, where it could deal with a little less to be able to move on to at least to the next screen and give me a new trash can or something to play with, right? Instead of
I didn't need 4 waves of the same guys in the pool room or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's that. It is interesting that like there is a map and there is kind of things you're going to. Some of the times you're stuck and you have to fight people. Sometimes you can just roll through it and avoid them. So there is kind of like a fodder system if you want to get experience points and build up, maybe.
Yeah. I think mapping the door exit button to the same button that picks up weapons is a mistake, because I don't know how many times I kept just like throwing weapons to the ground, having to pick them up and then walk a little closer to the door. Found that kind of annoying.
Yeah. It's and like you said, once you find a kind of a combo that somewhat works, it's hard to not just keep doing that. And then eventually, you know, a lot of times they'll get up and just hit you right away. So there's not a lot of nuance to the combat that I saw.
Yeah.
And there are definitely too many enemies that just get up 5-6 times after you knock them down.
I do like that the game has a curb stomp. Like,
yes.
Not a lot of beat 'em ups, just let you kick people when they're down. That's kind of fun.
Yes, that one is pretty fun. That especially if there's like one guy left and you can just sit there and beat on him until he dies.
Yeah. I do think like I'm such a huge fan of the special meters in fighting games. Like it kind of sucks that this game doesn't have one. Like I get that there's more of like a almost RPG-ish progression through the game as far as unlocking stuff, but it's fun to see the gauge go up, you know?
Yes. And yeah, you can buy new moves, but that doesn't necessarily mean the same thing if you can do them all the time. And oftentimes they're kind of special situations anyway.
Yeah.
At least the ones I was buying, they were pretty big wind-ups that it's like, well, this is not ideal anyway.
And that was always my problem with the original River City Ransom is like, well, is the combination of inputs for this worth the like output. You know what I mean? It's like when sometimes punch will just do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. I This is my second time trying to get into this game, and I just kind of like it's still just. I mean, there's something there. It's well designed. Like the theming's great. The art design is great. It's just for whatever reason, like as far as a beat 'em up goes, just seems to not engage with me in the way that you'd think it would. Because I like the genre. And
Yeah.
that was the genre when we were kids, right? Like beat 'em ups
Yeah.
and fighting games. So
I think the theme kind of turned me off. I mean, the comedy in it is kind of not great.
I'm a little mean spirited for the most part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And and if I'm gonna play one of these, there's been quite a few that have been pretty good lately.
Mm.
Streets of Rage and Turtles and all those that I play, and the last Marvel one was excellent. That if I wanted to go play one of these, I certainly would have forgotten what happened in those games. So It would have been technically a brand new game to me anyway. So
yeah,
those probably would be the one that I would go to. I guess that's unfair to this one because it is pretty well made for what it is. And maybe it's kind of ahead of the curve on a lot of these other, I mean, a lot of those ones that we talked about came out after that.
yeah.
Other than Scott Pilgrim was before this, but
I think there's a little bit of a problem too, like almost like the comic zone effect in the way that this compartmentalizes like sections. Like a lot of times you're walking into like a very small single section of your TV room, and it's just like I get it. Like every beat 'em up like has like closed borders, but it's not usually so restrictive. And a lot of it, especially the beginning, is like very tight quarters.
mm-hmm.
So it just starts to feel stale again because killing those 4 enemies with your punches takes an eternity. Where you want to just be like seeing the new things and like having like the thing fly to the background that can also hurt you, and that's just not here, you know?
Yeah, it definitely needed to turn up the damage a little bit and get through enemies faster, for sure. Did you get to the part where you have to get the key from the guard?
No, I must have gotten right up to it because they were talking about him or her, whatever.
Yeah. So you go to this guard's house, and it's literally squeaky toys all over his house on the floor. So you basically have to jump around everything on the walls and everything. So it is a straight up platformer.
Okay.
With somewhat tricky jumps. I was playing with my kid, and he didn't really get the concept of running in beat 'em ups because I mean it's a double tap of the D-pad, and that somebody who's grew up on a thumbstick, that doesn't really it's not really a thing, so so he really struggled with that. So it was me basically doing both girls at the same time getting across this, and even that was, I mean, it's not made for that. This type of movement is not made for platforming. So I thought that was kind of a bad choice.
Needless.
Yeah.
Especially with that weird sort of like isometric viewpoint. Like I didn't find like, well, they like introduced the jumping, like jump off the wall mechanic and stuff so early in the game too. And it's like, it doesn't really get me anything. Like I still like need to get in the hitbox. So I don't know why I would do this.
Yeah. And then we got to the mall, and one of the stores was a wardrobe place that you buy things, and one of them was a choker, and another one was like a dominatrix bra. And I'm like, okay. Now we're stepping into it.
Didn't need to do this with these teenage characters that we're playing as, but all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little odd. Glad I didn't see that. I mean, clearly this game must have had its fans and done well enough if it warranted a sequel. I'd be curious to see what part 2 adds to the formula, if anything.
So I just did like a little looking in because I was trying to figure out how many levels are, and there's not too many in this one. But if you do beat this game, you get to play as, you can unlock the boyfriend, so you can actually be Cunio if you want. And then in the second one, it was also showing the unlockables for that, and they made DLC for Billy and Jimmy from Double Dragon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, okay.
That's interesting. Just make another Double Dragon.
Yeah. Did they made that Neon one, but I don't know. Did
Neon's
they make another one after that?
They might have.
Yeah.
No. Wasn't there one for like the original Switch that was like a 8-bit sequel? I think I bought it and it wasn't.
Ooh, okay.
Great. I could be wrong on that. I'll have to look at my Switch library. Yeah, I don't know. I came into this hoping I would enjoy it more, but I kind of felt the same on it. What do you think you'd give it on the buy, rent, burn scale?
I think I'll give it a rent. I mean, it's obviously not exactly my theme or style that I would go about. I was trying to gauge whether my daughter would even like it. I don't think this thing appealed to her in that way, because she's kind of, you would think she would be around that age or thinking about stuff like that, but it's that weird ground of, like we talked about. It's getting up close to that.
Yeah.
Pervy stuff.
Yeah. Which would be off-putting to a young female, you would think.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so it's a well-made game. It does the thing that you want it to for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, there could have been better adjustments and maybe better pacing.
Yeah, I'm right there.
I can't burn it.
No.
But
I'm right there with you. I'd give it a rent too. It's just inherently a solid game, and it achieves what it's shooting out to be in a very quirky experience. It just doesn't click with me from a story perspective or like just even the gameplay. Like I said, I just found it a little like grating, which is not what I want out of my beat 'em up. Much rather just have, like I said, the special meter and the punch a million things and watch everybody die, but that's not this game. It's just kind of a chore to take down groups of baddies.
Yeah.
But I'm sure some people love this. This might be, somebody's style. Obviously it is, but not for me. So
it's just an interesting direction to take that for like a sequel as essentially to an NES game. And then and then
that's
also,
maybe the more interesting component, like the fact that it's like 30 years later and we got a follow up,
Yeah. And then on top of that, a beat 'em up is not the style of these type of games usually either. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. I will have to dust off the second one a little bit and just see what changes as far as gameplay goes. Probably not much, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean, it really would have helped to just have some sort of like room clearing attack special.
But even an item that you just find on occasion by like punching the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Streets of Rage style.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that gets us through another one.
It does. Contact us at weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. We also have a Patreon exclusive podcast that we have on the Geekade Patreon. So you want to check that out. It's movie based. I hit the publish button on a few days later than it was supposed to do, apparently.
I didn't even notice.
But it is now live. We did a Sam Neill movie, so if you want to
better late than
hear
never.
that, that's right. Yeah, that's over on the Patreon, Geekade Patreon. So check that out. But till next time, be kind, rewind.